All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Another Bourbon Show. Tonight, we are going to be drinking some Old Forester 150th anniversary. Before we get started, though, as we always do, hey, Steven, let's do a bottle review. What do you think of that label right there, Steven?
Ryan's, I give a 0 out of 10. Look at the form he used on that guy. These vertical strips on a horizontal line. And yeah, look how much white space we've got. He didn't realize you could just cut it off. Probably
Yeah.
just one piece of tape would be just fine for the actual size of the label.
Yeah, especially you put it right there, right at the overlap.
Pretty indefensible, if you ask me. Terrible
Yeah.
form, 0 out of 10. You're going to pass this up every time if you see it on the shelf.
Every time.
Next time I send something, I'm just not labeling anything.
That would actually be preferable.
That would be better. That's fine.
I think one impromptu blind would have been better than me looking at all these labels. The Old Forester 150, I'm a big fan of the overall presentation. I love the canister it comes in. But the label itself is like nothing special. I think that Old Forester is like a pretty good looking bottle. I think overall it's nice that you can tell them apart easily. This is just one of those that's really middle of the road for me. And it kind of all comes down to if you like the Old Forester font, because the rest of it is just, they're going with, they give you a rectangle and that's about it. The 150, I like the coloration of it, but it's mainly looks like it's I don't know, like a wedding, like meal card or something like that you might have on the table. I'm going to be giving this guy a 4 out of 10. It's not ugly, but it's kind of lacking, especially for your 150 anniversary. You want to have it look a little better than something that gets thrown away on a table,
All right.
I think it's nice. They've revamped their packaging these last couple of years, so I think their products look a lot better now than they used to. A lot more distinguishable on the shelf.
I do agree with that, yeah.
I actually really like the entire presentation. I know you just focus on the label, Steven. One thing that I really like, and I don't rate anything, so I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. Like, don't like, doesn't matter. I really like the combination of like the white with the gold border on that dark amber bottle. I think that really looks nice, like together. As far as the label goes, I'm not going to disagree with you, Steven. The label is really nothing special, but the presentation of the bottle itself, I really like, and the cardboard tube is super cool with the like old school sketch of the distillery. I like that.
Yeah,
a whole lot too. But again, I don't rate things, and you are rating the label itself, so I get a 4.0. That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Fair
the
enough.
presentation definitely would raise it quite a bit. I think it's a good overall presentation, but I think most people who have this would leave it on the shelf in the canister. If you're taking it out, it still looks nice when you're taking it out, but nobody's really looking at that label. It's the whole package.
Yeah. Fair enough. So tonight we are going to be drinking some Old Forester 150th anniversary. We are specifically going to be drinking the Batch 3 version of Old Forester 150, and that has a proof of 126.8, correct? I just looked at it a second ago, but...
Yep, that is correct. If you could see that right there.
There it is, 126.8. So Old Forester 150, it's to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the distillery itself. Old Forester is a Brown Forman product. So it's like Old Forester and Woodford Reserve are like partners, but they're then part of the Brown Forman Company, which owns Jack Daniels and a bunch of other. Who else do they own?
Well, they don't have Early Times anymore.
Yeah.
They used to have Canadian Mist. They have a tequila called Herradura. They have El Jimador tequila. They have Finlandia vodka.
Okay.
So it's mainly, and then Woodford Reserve.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Huge company. Huge company. So the mash bill on this is 72% corn, 18% rye, 10% malted barley. This does not have an age statement. And I don't even know if there's rumors about approximately how long it was
I mean,
aged.
in a way, you could say it's 150 years in the making. 150-year-old bourbon. In a way.
Good one, dude.
All right, moving on. Why don't we go ahead and have a sip of this? What do you think? Let's.
151 now. It's 2021. This is 2020 was the 150.
It's true. I want to say when I was pouring the whiskeys I sent you guys, the color on this, it looks great.
Mhm.
Like it was so much like it was a little darker than the Stag Junior, and the bottle I poured the one we did last week was in a dark bottle, so I couldn't really see as much, but it's got a distinct color.
Mhm.
Next to the Stag Junior was very dark. It was a lot darker, so it's kind of got that cool maple syrup look to it.
Looks like Ryan's urine.
after a Florida bender, not that he not like Super Bowl Florida, just like run of the mill Florida trips.
Right.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
And after he has a lot of water. I mean, this is like pretty good for Ryan.
Ryan, is this closer to your urine color or when you take a shit? Because I know we all know that that's liquid too.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's blood for both. So,
okay.
I guess if it dried after a little while, it's pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like Ryan, who's been like prepping for a couple weeks, getting ready for the combine. This is him peak physical condition.
Well, it's got an amazing nose.
Yeah,
like the smell on this is killer.
A lot of fruit. I mean, we talk all the time about whenever you get a lot of fruit from a smell, but I mean, this smells like I get a lot of apple, like it's an apple orchard.
I get banana too.
I always I feel like that's Brown Foreman, like in general. I mean, it's always you always get that banana. A little butterscotch.
Yep.
You get too. It's sweet. It's sweet on the nose.
Yeah, it is. Oak too.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of oak.
Well, 26.8. That's going to be strong. What was the smoke wagon last week? That was pretty close too, wasn't it?
No, that was 113.
Was it uncut unfiltered? No, there was a little more. There was. Oh yeah, you're right. I can't do math.
Yeah, we took a week off last week. We thought we'd go a little lighter last week.
What was the Stag Junior?
135 or something, I want to say.
It was like 131.1.
131.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Stag Junior is still the heaviest that we've had.
I think so, yeah.
Shit, I don't even know if I've got anything over there that's higher than that.
Because you're a little bitch.
Yeah, something like that.
Says the guy who pisses blood. Bottoms up, boys.
Bottoms up.
Cheers. Kicks you in the mouth, that's for sure.
So I'm going to say right off the bat, I'm pleasantly surprised. Very pleasantly surprised. Ryan and Steven both know this. Some listeners probably know this because I've made a few slight mentions of it every now and then. But I do not like Woodford and Old Forester products. As a blanket statement, I don't like them. Because of the yeast, it leaves a really acidic taste in my mouth. And I was really worried that I was going to get this really phenomenal bourbon from Ryan, and I was just going to fucking hate it because it was going to give that same acidic taste in my mouth. But this does not do that. I was able to very pleasantly enjoy that first sip.
To me, it comes off a little harsh. I feel the proof there. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but to me, it's not something that's just there and then there's a lot of complexity and whatnot. To me, it's like it's there. You have to get past it, and there's some complexity to be had there. I don't want to reveal too many of my thoughts too quick. I'm going to have a little bit more of it, but I think that's the first thing that hit me was this. We've had a lot of high proof stuff lately, and this is the one that I think stands out the most is feeling that proof. And it's not just there. It's something you have to to me get past a little bit.
I feel like it's real like medicinal in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's calling back to their roots a little bit, the 150 year. I imagine it was probably harsher than this, I imagine, but not harsher, not in a bad way. I mean, just because the proof is so high, but I'm sure they're honoring their roots with the 150 year with how this tastes.
So that first sip, I just had it, and I wasn't really paying attention to what I was going to be drinking because I was so worried that I wouldn't like it because of that typical yeast acidity that I don't like. So I just had another sip, and you're right, Stephen. I mean, it punches you in the face hard. This is not something that I'm going to drink this entire bottle of tonight. Like, I'll save the rest of this for a future night. Because you gotta know what you're getting into when you have a sip of this. And I enjoy it. Like, I'm picking up some like chocolate. I'm picking up some interesting flavors for sure. But yeah, it kicks you in the teeth, that's for sure.
I
Yeah,
think
I feel like it's real sweet. It's real for a high proof whiskey like it. I mean, it's real sweet. I feel like after you get past that initial kick in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that it's unlike the Stag Junior, which was I feel like it was more palate forward and there was a lot of flavor there to start with. I feel like with this, it's just you get sucker punched and then a little flavor comes in afterwards. It's the initial thing I get is the burn, I get the proof, and then I'm allowed to taste the whiskey.
I'll say one thing that I am surprised by. For as strong as it is, the finish doesn't last very long. Like,
No.
kind of going along with what Steven said, that it's like, bam, here's alcohol. Okay, here's some flavor. And then poof, it's gone. And that really surprises me out of 125.6 proof.
126.8.
126.8. What did I say?
125.6.
Oh, okay.
You know, I think that
Yeah.
as a result of what you're talking about, Dan, I think I would get drunker on this than the Stag Junior, just because as you're drinking it, I feel like I'm ready for another sip faster, and I can see myself going through a glass faster. But flavor wise, it's not the same league to me.
Yeah.
As the Stag Junior. I just feel like Stag Junior had a lot to offer throughout. Here, like we said, at the very beginning, it's kind of like you have bookends to this experience. Where in the first bookend is like a punch in the mouth, and then the last one is just kind of like you're just kind of left hanging all of a sudden, and there's not much left after that. I mean, I have like no taste of this in my mouth after a couple sips, you know?
I'll say that that's not necessarily a bad thing, though, right?
Yeah.
Like there are certain high proof things that, yeah, they're really flavorful, but then like your tongue is so numb after like 2 or 3 sips that like it just stings, and it that's not necessarily a good thing, right? Like, and I think that that's one of the great things that Stag Junior does is it like finds that middle ground. And this is, yeah, it's nice that I feel like I could go from this to a lower proof and pick up all of the flavors from that lower proof bourbon too. Um, but yeah, it is what it is, right? I'm getting spice, I'm getting dark chocolate, I'm getting some sweetness, more of like a brown sugar than a caramel.
Yeah.
And heat, plenty of heat.
I've opened this a few times after I've had a few, and it's like, man, even when I'm a little half in the bag, it still kicks you in the face
Yeah,
for sure.
you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, you said, Dan, about the Stag Junior that it's kind of it's a great nightcap whiskey.
Yeah.
It's the last glass of the night. This, contrary to what Ryan's just saying, or maybe in agreement with Ryan, what Ryan was just saying, I don't think I would like this as my last drink of the night because it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't put a nice punctuation on the end. It's kind of like, hey, let's keep going. It is the Ryan of
This
high
is-
proof bourbons.
This is the name off special.
Yeah, man.
I'll take that.
Now that I've got my COVID vaccine, I'm going to be coming over to Illinois more to actually get all my liquor because there's just, I mean, there's so many more opportunities of stuff I don't have famously. You have to be in a raft to get bourbon cream over here. So
Yeah. You can get Buffalo Trace bourbon cream pretty much anytime you want over on this side of the river.
I still can't believe that.
It kills me. Oh, I think that's so hilarious.
And I feel like I'll buy it. I'll have some. And I'll be like, oh, it's pretty good. Not worth waiting a year for. That's my pre-review of bourbon cream.
It's good in coffee. I mean, what else are you gonna drink it in?
Yeah, I know that.
Are there any mixed drinks?
Yeah, that Freddy's root beer. There's a drink
Oh yeah.
that they have that Buffalo Trace has. I haven't had it yet, but they sell them together. Like they've been cross merchandising for the last few months with it. So buy a bottle of bourbon cream, get a 6-pack of Freddy's root beer for like $2.
Okay.
Both allocated over here.
Even the root beer.
I mean, I haven't even seen the root beer on this side of the river.
Yeah.
That's a shame, dude. But that's what you get for living in Missouri, you know?
Yeah.
No one's wearing shoes. You know, everyone's related to each other. I mean, what do you
Speaking
expect?
of which,
dude?
do you have the latest Aaron Rodgers update for us tonight, Ryan? Because I know that guy just like you are keeping tabs on him. Who's he dating? You know all this stuff.
Oh, he's a loser. His girlfriend's a B-list actress, you know, making him move to, I think he wants to go to Denver. Get him out. Get him out of Wisconsin. He's still a hillbilly. I'll still always hate him. Fuck him. He can go somewhere else, you know. I'm sure we'll ruin Fields, but yeah, Rodgers can fuck right off. Their fans can fuck right off. Even after he leaves the Packers, he's still a douchebag, and he's the worst son ever because he doesn't talk to his parents. So,
Well, his parents are kind of shitty, aren't they?
That's who these. No, he's shitty. I don't care what his parents did. He's still the shitty one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Discount double check. Fuck you.
Rumor has it that he wants to play for Denver. I almost said Oakland, but I mean Las Vegas.
I heard that too.
Or the 49ers.
I saw the Raiders had one of the worst drafts. Like their draft grade was one of the worst.
Oh, it was shit.
In the NFL.
It was shit. It was shit. It was like Al Davis had risen from the grave just to have another draft.
What were you hoping for them to target, Dan? What was the big...
The entire defensive side of the ball. Like, first round, defensive tackle. Second round, defensive tackle. Third round.
Any of those
safety.
first round picks from Mac, did any of those materialize to anything?
No.
No?
No.
You got 3 of them.
Yeah, no. No.
Jesus, we should never have made that trade, by the way. I love Mac, but should have kept the first round picks.
Yeah, we spent on, let's see, who all did we get? We got Clellan Ferrell about 20 rounds too early. Or 20 picks too early. We got Ruggs, Henry Ruggs, about maybe 15 picks too early. And that was it. We only got two first rounders from you guys.
Oh, it was just 2? I thought it was 3.
I think it was 3 or 4 total picks, but only 2 first rounders.
Okay.
It seems like Ruggs could end up being like Deshaun Jackson light, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's stupid fast. But he's not top 15. I mean, I think he was the first receiver off the board. I mean, he came off before that other Alabama wide receiver that was way better than him in college. Last year, there were 2 Alabama wide receivers in the first round. I don't remember. It was Ruggs and then
Justin Jefferson, was he in?
He was LSU. Right?
Yeah, he was
LSU. Oh, okay.
But anyway, Ruggs came off before the other Alabama wide receiver who was rated higher than him. And he came off the board before the Oklahoma State guy, Lamb, that plays for Dallas now.
CC Lamb. Yeah.
CC Lamb came off the board before him, who was way higher rated. I don't fucking.
Is this Gruden doing his thing, or is it Mayock, or is it combined effort of idiots?
So it's a combination, and so
this podcast is the combined effort of idiots.
That's true. Yeah, that's a fact.
Man, I've been just looking at that Devil's River barrel strength on my fucking shelf.
Oh, you haven't tried it yet?
No, I have tried it.
Okay.
I have tried it, and it's just not that good. And a friend gave it to me, so I don't want to just dump it. But
is that the one Dan?
So I did
one for the whiskey.
I did the small batch. He's got the barrel proof.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, so we talk about this hitting you right in the face. It's nothing compared to that, and at least there's something afterwards. Like there's no end to it with the Devil's River. I will say that the finish, like you said before, Dan, the finish is not that long. That's the one saving grace of it.
Yeah.
Also for the barrel proof, that's true, but just imagine like your mouth being numb at the end of it. Also, so I guess like as an oral and like as an oral like local anesthetic type deal, maybe I could give it a passing grade. But we're really grasping at straws at that point.
You know
how much is that? How much is that bottle?
It's like $50.
Is it really?
For the barrel proof? I think it's like $50.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think my friend was getting it for me as like a gift thing and just didn't know,
Did he know it was a gag? Like, was it intentionally a gag gift?
It was not intentionally a gag gift.
Is it somebody that listens to our show?
No.
Okay. Tell them they need to start listening to our show. I'm looking up what the barrel proof price is. Oh, I was wrong. It's $37.
Still though.
For the barrel.
There's a lot of great whiskey you can get for that price.
Yeah, there is.
Some you can get multiple bottles.
Yeah. That's almost 3 mellocorns right there, man.
Exactly.
We need to make an app, and it just compares like for whatever whiskey you're buying, it's how many mellocorns is it
worth. This was 10 mellocorns.
It was.
Yeah.
Is it worth 10 mellocorns?
Sounds like we're about to rate it.
I think so.
I mean, I like it for what it is. I mean, I don't drink a bunch of these, high proof. This is like something you bring out when you got friends over.
What's the SRP?
I'm not going to be on this $149.99.
Okay, so $150.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think it actually this year retailed more than their birthday bourbon by $10.
Yeah, I know their birthday bourbon was $130 this year.
Yeah.
So more like it was actually $20. Yeah, it was
really?
$20. Yeah, because birthday bourbon, the SRP was $130. I think, pretty sure.
Okay. Not that I would know, but yeah, I mean, it's not something I'm going to drink all the time. It really kicks you in the face. It kind of got that old school medicinal type taste to it, which I like. And there are some sweet notes. There's some of that like decadent type taste that I like with the chocolate. There's a little butterscotch to it. Overall, though, I'd probably give it a 7.6. I think it's good. Middle of the pack 7s. I mean, if I'm going to go with an Old Forester, I know they're, the Prohibition one's not bad either, and that's a little cheaper. They got some barrel proof ones there. I think they have a rye that's like 100 proof that I hear is pretty good that I need to try. So there's a lot of Old Foresters you could try that, are $100 cheaper than this that you might love just as much.
Yeah. So back to the original question though, Ryan. In one hand, I'm really strong and I have 10 bottles of mellow corn in this hand. And in this hand, I have one bottle of Old Forester 150. Which one do you pick?
I would still, if I had my chance of getting this, I would buy this just because it's cool to have and you have friends over and everything like that. And then I'd still probably buy 10 Mellocorns after.
All right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess you gotta like if my dad was just gonna give me a bunch of money, I probably would do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to have, like, if you guys ever, yeah.
Ryan didn't catch
see
that.
What you're saying. This is my hard-earned money right here, man. You know.
I just like the fact that Ryan just moved. Yeah, I get it. Yep.
I think that this is a really hard one to rate for me because, we try to so much to keep the price out of it. We try to keep whatever hype the bottle might have out of it. This one has a high price. It has some hype to it, or at least some prestige to it, I should say. And I feel like it's just not worth that, either one. I think that it's definitely not bad. Anybody who says this is bad, I would, it's not bad. No one can say it's bad, but I think it's like a 7.4. I agree with Ryan that it's like middle sevens, and that's disappointing because honestly, when I first took a sip of this, to me, I was like, this is probably like an 8. It's like right at an 8, 8.0. Then I took a few more drinks and I realized that there just wasn't a lot there. I feel like if I hadn't had Stag Junior 2 weeks ago, maybe I would be saying something different here. But I feel like whenever you see what's possible at such a high proof and you see how complex the experience can be, when you come to this, like Dan was saying, like you drink it and then so quickly it ends, and then you're faced with having to take another sip, get hit in the face again to really, you're always chasing that little taste you get there in the middle. And for such a high price, and again, we try to take that out of it, but it's still there. It's a little too high to just completely take out of it. The taste to me still tops out in the sevens. So I'm giving it a 7.4. It just doesn't stack up with a lot of stuff we drank recently.
Okay, yeah. So I've been bouncing back and forth in my brain, but from 7.1 to 7.7, and I'm just gonna go 7.5. For the things that you both just mentioned. Now, I am completely keeping the price out of it. Like price is not weighing on my 7.5 whatsoever. What's weighing on the 7.5 is the flavor and the finish. That's what's bringing it down. What's bringing it up is that nose. That nose is amazing. The nose smells so goddamn good. But again, the short finish and the punch in the face brings it down. Otherwise, it would be closer to a 7.7, 7.8, maybe even an 8.1, 8.0. But I just can't do it with, like you said, Steven. I think you worded that really well. You're chasing that right in the middle because the finish is short and the punch in the face, that middle taste right there, you're chasing that. And you don't get enough of that right there for it to be higher than a 7.5. So, is it good? Yeah, it's good. Would I spend $150 on it? Not a chance. Give me the 10 bottles of Mellocorn, and matter of fact, I'll take 7 bottles of Mellocorn to 1 bottle of Old Forester 150. That's where I'm at.
And one thing we talked about last episode with the Smoke Bag and Uncut Unfiltered, it's sometimes the case, or maybe even usually the case, that the higher the proof, the more complexity you're going to get out there. It could elevate the whiskey. To me, I think there's a lot of lower proof Old Forester offerings that have more flavor than this. I think that this is a perfect example of one where you're like, really, that's the proof, and this is the amount of taste that I get for the entire experience.
Yeah, I know it's unfiltered. I mean, it's high. Like, if they would have tapped it out, like kind of where the Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered was, maybe the taste would be there a little more. You can enjoy it a little more. 126.8. I mean, that's pretty big, and it really does kick you in the face, and it reminds you every single time you have a sip of it. but I agree with you on the nose. I mean, that's one of the best bourbons I've ever smelled, you know.
Same.
And you wish it that same exact thing you smell, you taste. And fortunately, with something that high of proof, it doesn't always happen, which
Yep.
isn't a bad thing. It still tastes great, and we gave it a great score. But yeah, it's just big Kentucky hug. It's kind of like a Kentucky tackle and just lays on you for a while and doesn't get up.
And then disappears.
Yeah.
Yep.
But smells great.
But smells phenomenal.
Smells great.
Smells so damn good. So.
Another brother show. Another brother show.
It's fun.
Especially since Steven does most of the work. Hey,
Sorry, dude.
I do my work by acquiring bottles.
That's
That
true.
I would probably acquire them anyway. But I've coordinated all of the guests.
No,
That's true.
No one denies you contribute, Dan.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Steven. Steven, you absolutely contribute too.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
I think it's very clear.